So hi everyone. Today we'll be discussing about how you can run Langchain using a local LLM without an API key. So this is like running Langchain for free without using any API keys. So you don't need to spend any money. So this becomes a very crucial tutorial to understand so that you can use a Langchain framework easily without paying any sort of money for the API key. So let's get started. So first of all, we will be pip installing a few required packages, that is Langchain, Transformers, Torch, EINOPS, and Accelerate. Once you're able to pip install all these five packages, we will be loading one of the LLMs from the internet. So for demonstration purpose, I'm loading this Ether AI GPT Neo 125M. I've taken the name. You can load any model, be it GPT-3, GPT-4, OpenAI GPT, Flan T5, Flan T5 base, any model that is present. But do remember that whatever task that you're assigning it, it should align with its nature. So here I'm using GPT Neo 125M, which is a text generation model. So the first thing is that I'm also loading the tokenizer for this particular model using the transformer or auto tokenizer. Next is that using the transformer pipeline object, I'm creating a pipeline object using this particular model that I'm trying to load, that is Utheri GPT New 125M. So you can see that the first thing that I've mentioned is the task, that is text generation, model equals to model, that is the URL that I've given, path, tokenizer, I've assigned the tokenizer, and rest of them are a few parameters that I need to assign. Next, we'll be importing a few required packages, functions from Langchain also, that is Hugging Face Pipeline, Prompt Template, LLM Chain. So what we are doing is that we're loading a LLM from the internet, wrapping it using the Hugging Face Pipeline, and then using that object that is wrapped in the Hugging Face Pipeline in a Langchain framework. So here you can see that we have created the pipeline object using the transformers.pipeline using the LLM that we wish to use. And apart from then, after that, we are using the Hugging Face Pipeline object and passing the pipeline object to this constructor to form the LLM. Now the next part is that we will be using a very baseline example of using a LangChain with this local LLM. So we are using a prompt template framework here, where we would be giving it a baseline prompt, that is tell me a story about dash, where dash would be the topic that we would be providing it while running. Here you can see that we are creating an LM chain object now. We are passing the LM object that we have created using the Hugging Face pipeline and the prompt template, and then we are running it. So the we are using a very baseline prompt, that is tell me a story about dash, that is aliens first. So here you can see that it is able to generate some story. The story looks a bit bogus, but as we are using a very small LLM, it's not that great to known for its performance, but just for the sake of demonstration, the next chain that we have run is for life and death. So basically it's like tell me a story about life and death. So it will tell you I want a better life, I want to make a better life, something like this it is writing. So eventually the results are not great because the LM that we are using is not up to mark. But eventually here you can see in this particular tutorial how you can first of all load an LM object, create a pipeline object, then pass this pipeline object to Hugging Face pipeline, and then using that Hugging Face pipeline object, which uses that pipeline object that we use for loading the LLM model, you can pass it to the LangChain, and eventually you can use it as we use it with the paid API.